Well, it's time. The Leafs are making a big announcement about Auston Matthews this morning. Let's go live to Real Sports Bar and Grill for more.
General Manager Brad Treliving.
Thanks, Steve. Well, welcome to everybody. I'd like to say it's great to see you, but I can't see anything with the lights here right now. But it's great to see everybody. As Steve, just want to acknowledge a few people. We've got some, I know I saw them before, but I don't know if there's any others. Some players in attendance. Mitchie and Morgan are here. Welcome to them. Larry Tannenbaum, Keith Pelly, a special welcome to them. And on a day like today, it's great to have two former Leaf captains here in Dougie Gilmore and Wendell Clark. So welcome to everybody. A special welcome to Auston's mom and dad who are here with us, Brian and Emma. Good to see you. To John's mom and dad, Joe and Barbara. And to John's wife, Erin. And I see the kids running around there, Jace, Axton, and Raylan. So great to have everybody here. Yeah. So today's a great day. I'm proud to announce, I think everybody knows the news, to announce Auston as the 26th captain in Toronto Maple Leafs history. And also the first U.S.-born captain. So it's a great day. I want to spend a little time before I get to Auston just on how we got here, and talk about the man to my far right, in John. It was shortly after the end of the season, and like at the end of every season, you sort of digest the season that just happened, and you're looking to just improve in any way you can. And it was at that time John and I had a conversation. I first raised, the thought that I had about the succession of the captaincy to John. And I can tell you right from the start, John was on board. I can tell you he loves being the captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs. And John's a thinker, and he was taking things in, and we continued these conversations over a number of days of how we transition it. And two things really, that speak to the character of the individual. Two things that we're talking even this morning that stuck out to me. And John said to me, number one was when he first came here, he didn't come to Toronto to be the captain of the Maple Leafs. He came to win a Stanley Cup in his hometown, and that goal is still what drives him today. And he mentioned that he knew that this day eventually was going to come when he came to Toronto, and when he was first in the room and he's looking around at a lot of these young players, when he first saw Auston and saw the great young talent, but knew, as John told me, knew that one day he would become the captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and that day is today. So I can't thank John enough for his leadership, the character that he has. Those things don't stop today. We need it even more, and John will continue to provide those things, and just his leadership through this process. He's been bringing ideas of how we can help Auston and how he can support him best. So John, on behalf of everybody in Maple Leafs, thank you so much. I'd like to turn it over to John Tavares.
Thanks, Tree. I just got something prepared. So before my second season in Toronto, I was given the incredible honor and responsibility of being the next captain and follow in the footsteps of 24 Leaf greats. I've cherished every second of it. I've never taken it for granted, and I've given the captaincy everything I have every single day. It has meant the world to my family and I. Over the last few months, through deep discussions and thoughts with Brad, Brendan, and myself, we've come to the decision that now is the time to pass on the captaincy to Auston. When I decided to come to Toronto, it was all about the great opportunity to win because of the young, talented, developing core, the strength and stability of the club, and the club's belief in me to come play a significant role in its journey to compete and win the Stanley Cup. My feelings and belief on all that haven't changed, but I do recognize the development of our young core and where they are today, specifically Auston. This decision is definitely not about whether I've succeeded or failed, whether I'm capable or that my time has passed. I feel stronger than ever in my ability to compete, play at a high level, and make significant contributions through my leadership. This decision is a recognition of the maturation of a person who has shown a skill set that is special, unique, and who has a relentless drive to win. In that, I believe Auston can become more, and that he is ready for this honor and responsibility. With me passing on the captaincy, it will allow Auston to fully embrace the leader that he is and even have an even greater impact on our team. I'll be able to continue to lead the way that I do and give Auston my full support. I want to thank everyone who's been a part of my captaincy and Leafs Nation for the trust and belief in me during my time as captain. I cannot wait to get started again next month and continue our work toward bringing the Stanley Cup back to Toronto. I'm extremely honored to be here to announce and pass on the C to the 26th captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs, Auston Matthews.
Now, if I could ask President Brendan Shanahan and head coach Craig Berube to join the gentleman up on the stage. Maybe one on each side, Shannon. Thank you, gentlemen. And just one with Auston there.
Well, thanks, John, for that. Now just to Auston. You know, the question may come up, you know, why now? Why Auston? As John eloquently put it, you know, I've had the opportunity live and in color for a year just to be around Auston. And what a lot of you people see is the finished product, maybe at 7 o'clock at night on a game day, of what he does. And what he does is he's one of the best players on planet Earth. But what you don't see is the work, the commitment, what he does to push himself to be better every single day, push his teammates to be better every single day, and just the man that he's become. So to me, leadership isn't, and the captain does not fall, and leadership doesn't, the burden doesn't fall on one individual. But there's certain individuals that just have that ability. People want to follow him. He walks into a room and people are gravitating to him, and people naturally follow him. So it's, we've had the distinct pleasure to be led by John for the last number of years, a great captain, and I couldn't think of a better person for him to bestow this honor on and pass on to than Auston. And now officially announce and introduce you to the new captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs, Auston Matthews.
Well, first off, thank you, Tree, Johnny. Yeah, I got chills. Honestly, I'm so honored and humbled. Since being drafted here 8 years ago, you realize how special it is to play for the city of Toronto, to wear the Maple Leaf on your chest every single night, and it just means the world to do that and to have the support from Johnny, my teammates, our staff, ownership. My family. It just means the world to me, and I look forward to continuing our journey to obviously get to the top of the mountain and win the Stanley Cup and bring it back to Toronto.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. We'll pass now to questions and answers. I'd ask members of the media to please raise your hand and wait for the microphone. We'll start with Sean in the back corner there, Jen.
This question is for Auston and John. Can you tell us what was said in that first conversation between the two of you talking about making this transition?
Me started? I'd come to the decision and kind of discussed, kind of making it official with Brad probably about a week before letting Auston know. I just wanted to, from all our discussions and our thoughts and coming to this point, and then, gave Auston a call. It was late July, and just wanted to let him know what I thought about him, and that I thought the time was now for him to take charge and be the captain and be the leader of our club, and how ready he was for it, and that he's got my full support to continue what we when I came here 6 years ago to do, and wanting to bring the Stanley Cup back here to Toronto and finding our way to do that. So, and I referenced to him something that made a big impact on me when things were getting really close in terms of signing here, and at that time, and I was going through a lot, and just the reassurance he gave me of wanting to build something special here, and how committed he was here, and like I said, get to the top of the mountain like he referenced. So that was kind of our conversation, and he said, obviously many kind words back, and we have a great relationship to begin with, but I already feel that it's grown in a ton of ways since then, and been talking a lot about this, obviously, and the team in general in the upcoming years. So it was a great conversation, one and certainly I won't forget.
Yeah, I guess I could just piggyback on what he said. Obviously, our relationships have been great and has continued to evolve over the years. And I can't speak highly enough about John, and first and foremost, the kind of person he is, teammate and player. So, those discussions were always open and honest. And like I said, it just meant a lot to have his support throughout this whole thing.
Kevin McGran, Toronto Star.
One for each of you. Auston, I wonder if you could say a few words about what John Tavares was like as captain and what that captaincy era was like. And John, if you could say what you might expect an Auston Matthews captaincy to look like.
Well, like I said, John's a first-class person, and you see that day in and day out, the way he prepares and how professional he is and the way he goes about his business. And I have a ton of respect for that. So I've learned a lot, from him over the last 6 seasons that we've been playing together, and as our relationships continue to evolve, and as it will continue to evolve as we continue to go on this journey together and with our, everybody else. So, he's an easy guy to talk to, pick his brain about. He's obviously has a lot of experience. So, yeah, it means a lot.
Yeah, I think, what I've seen is Auston's evolution. I think, obviously, you're talking about one of the best players in the game of hockey, and certainly the growth through that's been incredible. I've learned so much, and it's amazing how he pushes the team, I think, a lot of times without even himself realizing it, and you can just tell by the way he inspires others with his talent, his work ethic, and just being so level-grounded, just being one of the guys every single day. But the commitment he has shown to the team, to the game, like I said, the drive to win is remarkable. And now, with him having this honor and responsibility, I think it really gives him the chance to spread his wings and grow through all that in different areas that will only elevate him even more in our team. And it's been amazing to learn from him, to play alongside him this far, and to continue that forward.
Josh Cloak, The Athletic.
Hey, John, what would your advice be to Auston?
Well, I mentioned this to him the other day. It's an honor and responsibility for a reason, and it's a tremendous one, but at the same time, it's not all on his shoulders. And for him to just be himself, obviously to have key people to lean on, but to always be himself, trust his instincts, be who he is. And you don't have all the answers, and it's not all on your shoulders, and leaning on other people is critical. And I talked about how that's really helped me over my time, whether it was in New York or my time here. That really helped me. So, but at the same time, it's going to be his journey, and he's going to learn a lot, and he's going to find his own way, and I'm excited to be there with him when he needs me to support him, and many other guys within our locker room, and his family, and other people that are really close in his inner circle that he can trust, that he can fall back on, because obviously you feel that responsibility and that honor. You recognize it, it's important, but it's not all on your shoulders. So he's gonna do phenomenal. So that's what I saw was really important for me, that I wanted to let him know.
Go Nick Barton, Hockey News, over here on the left.
Over here. This is for Auston. Just wondering, when John gave you that phone call, what were the emotions that you were going through, and just what did it feel like, I guess, getting off that phone call?
Yeah, I remember, after he kind of let me know and everything, I told him I was like shaking. I had chills, and like I said, it's such a big honor just to represent the Maple Leafs and put on that jersey every night, and to be the captain is truly special. So, for him to call me and kind of let me know that he wanted to pass on the captaincy to me, was very emotional, and felt a lot of things, but it's truly an honor.
Rosie DiBano, Toronto Star.
Hi, Auston. Can you maybe tell us what you think is the primary responsibility or role of the captain? And just very quickly, did it cross your mind even for half a second to say thanks but no thanks?
No, it did not. I think there's a lot of different responsibilities that come with it, and for myself, I don't think I need to change who I am, or my process, or the way that I approach the game or anything. I think it's just continuing to learn and to grow as a teammate, as a leader, as a person, and continue to take steps forward in those areas, and just try to be the best version of myself that I can be for this team, night in and night out.
Luke Fox, Sportsnet.
Brad, when did it first occur to you that a captaincy change might be appropriate, and will John wear an A?
When did it first? These are all things you think about, and again, it's not that I thought, there was something wrong. When you have a player like Auston, and I keep seeing the evolution, and for me, even seeing it from the outside, I watched Auston all these years, as an outsider, and seeing the steps that he's taken on the ice, and then when you get the chance to be around him every day, and you see that evolution in him, from a manager's perspective, you're always trying to push your team forward. How can we find a way? Well, that's what we're doing here. We're trying to keep knocking on the door to push through it. I felt this was another step. Again, not that anything was wrong, but is this a way that we could take a step forward, and have Auston lead that leadership group, lead that group. So it's something that you're always thinking about different ideas. I approached John, and at the end of the year had to talk with Auston. And then the other question you asked me, an A. John's going to be wearing an A. We're how the rest of our leadership group is formed. That's something that we'll talk about internally with Craig, myself, Brendan. The thing that's really key here is we've got great leadership with this team, and as I mentioned, Morgan and Mitch that are here today, we've got. John can attest to it. He was supported by great teammates and great leaders on this team. Auston will be as well. So we're very fortunate with the group that we do have, and the strength in leadership that we do have.
Mark Masters, TSN.
Brad, to pick up on what you were talking about with Auston's evolution, just over right in front of you here. Yeah, hi. Good to see you. Picking up on the evolution of Auston as captain, what are some of the things you saw last season that made you believe he was ready? Because sometimes leadership can, of course, be subtle.
Yeah, it's a good point, and I think leadership always isn't the rah-rah speech, right? There's times that there's times that uncomfortable things have to be said. And Auston and I have talked about it. Our group has talked about that. I saw him take steps in that direction. But to me, it's the most authentic part of leadership is doing it right and being a mirror that people can look at and follow and that you can look to others and say, follow that. And that's what Auston does. Like I said, I don't know, I haven't been around a more prepared athlete in my life. The season ends, I think he takes a week off, he's right back into his routine. The preparation, he's been out at the facility, the work he puts in every day. It's something that as another athlete or as a teammate you can look to and you can look to emulate. And I think he's getting more comfortable with, that ability to pull others along with him, right? He's at a high elite level, and now his part of his goal is grabbing and bringing our group with him.
Matt Larkin, Daily Faceoff on the far right.
Hey, Auston, this one's for you. Congratulations on the honor. So I know you're obviously just starting your new contract, but when you look at this honor, do you see it as a chance to maybe put your roots even deeper with this franchise and maybe even move closer to being a Leaf for life?
Well, I mean, I think that's the goal is to be a Leaf for life, to win here, with my teammates for the city. I think, those are always things that you kind of keep in the back of your mind, but there are also things that are kind of in the future as well. So I've loved every minute of being a Toronto Maple Leaf. Like I said, it's such a tremendous honor, and you can only kind of take it one day at a time, but I hope that's the case.
We'll do one last question. Dave McCarthy, NHL.com.
Auston, I know you said it never occurred to you to say thanks but no thanks, but after you were presented with the opportunity, a lot of stories when Matt Sundin was presented with the chance, he consulted with Boris Salming and asked what he thinks he should do. Did you consult with anybody when you were offered the captaincy, and who do you think you will lean on to help develop your leadership style in the captaincy?
Yeah, I mean, I think talking with John, obviously, my parents, my family, just the people that are kind of closest to me. But, as we kind of go along and stuff, there's definitely people that, like John, like other teammates, guys I've played with in the past that I've been fortunate to be around and get to know that you can kind of take bits and pieces from all of them. And, fortunately, we have great relationships. So I definitely won't hesitate to reach out and pick different people's brains on stuff.
Thank you, gentlemen. I want to thank everybody for attending today to this special day. As mentioned, we'll have some media interviews off to the side after. Thank you, and congratulations to Auston Matthews as our 26th captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs.